Hi and welcome to this virtual recording of our Taster Day 2020. We're really sorry that you're not with us in person this year due to COVID-19, but we hope this will answer some of the questions that you may have, and we really look forward to welcoming you in September. We're aiming for a normal school start on the 4th of September with results day and enrolment on the 20th of August. So we're just going to run through the agenda on the next slide of things coming up in this meeting. The first one was Zoom housekeeping, which doesn't apply, although if you were in our live call earlier, apologies again for some of the technical issues that we experienced with the call. So the first thing to do is welcome myself. I'm Miss Tobia, the Director of Sixth Form, and I'm with Miss Lewis, and I'm Head of Year 12 and 13. So the first thing is a general update that things in September are still not quite set in stone, and that is because we're still awaiting further guidelines from the government about the risk assessment processes that need to be put in place. As I'm sure you can imagine, there's been a huge amount of work this far in getting the school open for the essential workers' children. We've had a number of those in every day right throughout lockdown since the beginning of April and from March, and for the wider opening of Year 10 and 12. So there is still more work to be done for September, but we're really confident that we'll be in a really good position to have as a normal timetable as possible, where we are abiding by staggered start times and staggered lunch times. So there will be some significant adjustments in place to the timetable, but where possible you'll be still with your subject teachers getting subject specialist lessons, even if the school day doesn't run in quite the same timetable. For now, until those guidelines and those risk assessments are complete, we can't give you too much further information, but please keep checking parent mail, keep checking the communications from Miss Hillman, the head teacher, as we go towards the end of August and beginning of September, as we'll have much more specific and updated guidance to give you about the start. But what we can tell you later on as number 5 is the enrolment day and results day process. We have got a plan of action in place, so Miss Lewis will talk you through that later on in this presentation. So number 3, we wanted to start with you having a sense of what Heathcote's really like by hearing from some of our students. So the first messages are from Year 13 pupils who've just left us, and the short interviews are for some current Year 12s as they move into Year 13, that by the time you get to number 5 on the agenda, enrolment day, you're choosing to join us. So we'll play the video now and hope that this is something to give you a little snapshot of life in the sixth form.
Hi, I'm Janita. I'm in year 12. I'm currently studying politics, history, and what's my other subject? English language. I came to Heathcote. I've been here since year 7, and I've followed all the way through. I kind of like the sixth form bit because it's there's more independence, not suffocating you. And they're not down your throat about you need to do this, you need to do this. They're kind of guiding you through nicely. So I like the atmosphere. I think I would recommend it if you're if you don't want to be pestered by your teachers too much, or you've had bad experiences. This is a good place to go. So yeah.
Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm in year 12. I do history, Spanish, maths, and EPQ. And I'd recommend Heathcote because the teachers are really, really friendly. They're really helpful. There's a really wide range of subjects that you can do, and it's really easy to fit in. You won't feel lonely here at all.
My name is Mason. I am studying B6 Sport, and I enjoy coming to Heathcote because I get loads of opportunities to play football for Leighton Orient. That's given me good progress through football. I've got loads of opportunities just through football outside of school because of it. I get loads of opportunities to have fun with my mates, free time, to do work if I need to. And just having a free time because it's completely different to year 11 because you get to have your own space on time. I enjoy coming to this sixth one.
Hi, my name is Sri Tharan. I'm studying maths, biology, chemistry, and EPQ. I chose to study at Heathcote sixth form because the teachers are well caring and helping. I knew them for 5 years already. I hope that choosing to help Heathcote will help you progress to your further life and education.
So we really hope that hearing directly from some of our students give you a feel for the hopefully supportive and warm welcome you'll get when you join us in September, and also the wide range of subjects available on offer. And we really believe that fits into our ethos of the whole package of a sixth form student. So not just in the centre there, your formal curriculum subjects, your BTEC or your A-level courses, but all the things that sit alongside that to make sure that when you leave, and that might seem like a long way off, that you are ready for the world of work, for further study at university, or whatever your next steps may be. So you heard from Janita and from Rachel about not feeling lonely here, about being well guided and supportive. And we also want to share with you that we've got 2 counsellors in school who are available for individual bespoke guidance and support if you need it. We also expect you to be role models for the wider school, and I can't emphasise enough how much sixth form students here are looked up to as role models, not only within the wider community but also within schools. So we're making sure that all Year 12 students will have the opportunity to do volunteering within school, to be part of charity events and fundraising too. And that all links into being aspirational for those university applications or for apprenticeships to make sure that you're ready. We have one-to-one guidance with the Borough Careers Advisor should you need it, but also Miss Burnett has an office up in the sixth form for additional careers and university guidance. Rachel mentioned in the video that she's doing something called the EPQ, that stands for the Extended Project Qualification, which counts as an additional subject at A-level, and it runs as a kind of mini university style project and can get you additional UCAS points. We've also got Oxbridge, that's Oxford and Cambridge University, support for those applications, as well as medicine and dentistry. We've got a huge number of careers partnerships, whether that's through organisations set up by Mr. Dolan in the property world, or whether that's through NHS partnerships or through the music industry. We have a really good range of opportunities to make sure that those CVs and personal statements are full of great opportunities. Not only that, something for the academic enrichment to make you inquiring and curious. We have a thriving debate club, essay competitions, and actually last year we participated in something called the Bar Mock Trial, where our students were able to go and compete at Snaresbrook Crown Court with the advice and support of a barrister, and they actually got to the final and they narrowly lost out to the national finalists by just 1 point. And all of that we hope will make you into great student leaders, so you can be a part of the student prefect team as well as head boy and head girl opportunities too. And finally, to make sure that you've got as much experience as possible outside of school, you can also participate in expeditions and trips abroad. And all of that package is supported through a weekly tutorial programme and through a daily tutor system, so you have staff on hand who will be there to support you and guide you each step of the way. So I'm going to pass over to Ms. Lewis, who's going to talk through some of the details for enrolment day and what to expect on the 20th of August. Thank you. So we've obviously got a plan in action ready for your results date on the 20th. And what we wanted to make sure that you were aware of was that there's 2 different steps. So for internal students, we need you to make sure that on parent mail you have confirmed whether you will be collecting your results in school or whether you'll be collecting them virtually. If you come into school, and you're an internal student collecting your results in school, we can then support you with the enrolment, and staff will be available to help you there. Your application will then be checked by our team, and a confirmation will be sent to you by the end of the day via email, which will confirm the next steps and our start in September. Likewise, if you're collecting your results in school and you need to obtain some careers advice, we will be here to support you with your application. There will be staff on hand, as well as Miss Burnett available, who can help you with possible next steps. Alternatively, if you're an internal student that would like to have your results emailed to you, or you're an external student, you will be able to enrol virtually, and you can enrol via Admissions Plus. For external students, we would say that you need to make sure that you upload your passport details and your grades, and obviously check all your details before you send off your application to us. Likewise, for internal students that were coming in to collect their grades, a team of staff will then check your application and send you a confirmation email by the end of the day. Alternatively, you can book a meeting slot with us to discuss any changes and any changes in grades or changes to subjects. Those meeting slots are available for all students, and all we ask is that you book a time slot. We will then give you a phone call back. A member of staff can discuss your applications or any questions that you have, and then hopefully we can go on to enrolling you, and you will receive that confirmation email like the other students as well. So I hope that flow diagram makes it quite visual and easy for you to understand, but if you do have any questions, please ask. So what you can be doing next. For internal students, we really need to know whether you're coming into school to collect your results, or we will assume that you will be collecting your results virtually and we will be sending those to you. We ask that you keep checking your emails. We will be resetting all passwords, and we ask that you check your email to make sure that you are aware of your new email address before you can enrol. On results day, I ask that you just follow the diagram that I've just shown you, but we want to pay a particular attention to the fact that you need to be sure that you're using Chrome on your computer. We recommend that you don't use your phone or Internet Explorer. We find that the application system doesn't work very well on those devices. So if you could please use Chrome, that would really help. And the last thing I would say is to make sure that you've got all paperwork ready, that your grades are available to upload, and so is your passport details. A couple of questions that frequently are asked on enrolment day may be that what do I do if I don't have my grades? If you don't have your grades, I recommend that you book a meeting time with us so we can discuss what your options are and provide some more careers advice. Like I said, all of those meeting slots are available for every student enrolling, so please make sure you take advantage of that if you need it. Another question is, what if I want to change my subjects? Yes, that is possible. You can change your subjects. You can do that on the application process online, all of your own accord, and we will check those for you. Or likewise, if you want to discuss those further, please book a meeting slot. And the last question is, how will I know I have been accepted on my chosen course? That email confirmation that you receive from us, containing the details for your start in September, will also have your subjects on there and what subjects we've enrolled you onto. If any queries at all, please make sure you email us or give us a call. Okay, so just to continue, what can you expect when you start? And we want to be really honest with you at this stage that given that you've had a lot of time out from school, that it will be an adjustment to begin with. And that is the same in any year for year 11 moving into year 12, but especially the case this year. You're used to doing many subjects and you're reducing that down to perhaps 3 or even 1 if you're doing a BTEC subject. So you will find there is a lot of independent time with limited work within the classroom and a lot of expectation that you are doing work independently on your own. So it's about being ready for that and getting motivated to learn. You will undoubtedly have some gaps in your learning, and there's a lot of national discussion around this as well, that we need to help you bridge due to the amount of time off that you've had. So we are sharing with you for each subject some summer work or transition guides to help you make sure that you can hit the ground running in September for those areas of study. It might be that if you're already thinking about changing your subjects because you've had some time in lockdown to reflect and to think, that using these transition guides might help you make those decisions as well. And it is an expectation that your teachers will collect that work from you as you start in September. It'll also be a great chance to welcome you back face to face, and we're sorry we haven't had a chance to do that today, to settle in, to make friends and to get yourselves organised and ready for the start of your learning. As Rachel said in the video, you won't feel lonely here, and you do get a chance to really settle in well. For both internal students who come from Heathcote, you'll have an opportunity to meet new people from other schools, and if you are from an external applicant, don't worry, we have a great set of systems in place to make sure that you fit in really well to start with. So in the beginning of September, those initial weeks will be to finalise your decisions. If you have any doubts about the subjects that you're doing, you'll have to get a confirmation of a change of subjects from Miss Lewis or myself to make sure you're on the right pathway and to make sure you're getting a taster of the subjects that you've chosen, particularly if they're subjects you haven't had a chance to study at GCSE, like psychology. You'll have a chance to get familiar with the building. A number of you won't have had lessons over here as much if you're internal students, but we do have our own facilities in our own building over here. But importantly, to adjust to new routines of the new timetable, the new start times for the day, the staggered start and the arrival times, but also our expectations. We have huge expectations of you to be attending on time, to be making sure that you're attending every session every day, and that you are dressed really smartly. And there's some more stuff from Miss Lewis on the dress code in a moment, because you are role models for the whole school, but also you're part of a school sixth form, not a college, so we do have some particular routines and expectations of all of you. Then you'll have a chance to make sure you sign up for the opportunities that being in the sixth form brings. So if the government haven't changed the guidelines by then, you are eligible for a 16 to 19 Oyster card, but also you might need some documentation if you're eligible for the post-16 bursary, and that goes to Miss Lewis, but also being registered on our parent mail and parent pay system so that you can pay the £5 deposit for your entry fob and your lanyard, as well as any printing money that you might need. Perhaps for those of you who are eager to get back into some shopping, you can also get lots of discounts through the NUS card. So, like it says at the bottom here, you are Year 11s in your own clothes in lots of ways, and the time you've had out from school means that we need to help you with that adjustment. And it is a big step. A lot of people find the change in education style and the workload and the expectation a really big jump. But we're here to help you and here to remind you that you are huge role models to the wider school. And this might seem like a very long way in the future, but we also want to reiterate as part of the whole package of your education, I touched on some of this earlier, that we use Year 12 and the tutorial system as a real key time to get you thinking about those future options, whether that's apprenticeships or whether that's university options. It's really making sure that you leave us well-rounded and equipped for the future, whatever that may look like by 2022. So that might be participating in all those enrichment events and things like that. Just the last note from me before I hand over to Miss Lewis again is the transition guides and what to look out for. So these will all be available on our website for you to have a look at, and whether you complete those on paper or on your own digital version to hand in to teachers in September, but we can also email out a link to that with this presentation to the address that we hold on our admissions system. We want to make your start to school in September as positive as possible. So the more work that you complete and the more tasks that you've gained points for means that you'll be eligible for more rewards in September too. And this is a really vital step for your own reflection, for you to think about where the gaps in your own knowledge might be, but also to help your teachers make sure they're equipping you to start those A-level and BTEC courses by addressing any gaps in the knowledge that you might have, as you didn't have the same run-up to examinations as other students have done in the past this year. And I'll just hand over to Miss Lewis again to go through some of the frequently asked questions and stuff around the dress code.
Thanks, Miss. So one of the key questions that's normally asked is, what is the uniform policy? And what I would advise to students is that they always check our school website. And our school website has the dress code on there. It explicitly shows what you can wear and you can't wear. But if ever in doubt, please make sure you ask before you wear it. Unfortunately, we have had cases where we've had to send students home because they've been wearing the incorrect uniform. And although we don't say that you've got a school uniform, we do ask that you're in smart business attire. So if you wouldn't wear it into an office, then I would say it would be inappropriate. But if you're ever in doubt, just ask. Another question we had is, if I don't get the calculated grades I wanted, can I still do that subject? There are entry requirements for a reason. It's not for us to say yes or no to, it's actually for us to determine whether a student's going to succeed in the subject. And it's been shown by national figures that if a student starts at a lower starting point, the likelihood of them succeeding in the subject can be affected, and hence there are entry requirements for a reason. Obviously, if students want to discuss this with a staff member, I'd recommend that you book a meeting that I spoke about earlier on enrolment day. And if you're not sure, please ask. But yet there are entry requirements for a reason, and unfortunately, if the calculated grade doesn't match the entry requirements, we won't be able to enrol students onto courses. However, that really leads on to, if I want to change your subject, can I do so, and do they have to be in the same option block? Yes, there is flexibility on changing your options, and like I said earlier, you can do that via the application process online, and we can check that for you. There's no problem with you doing that. However, I know that some students will want more advice and guidance on that, so I recommend booking a meeting slot. But the key thing is making sure that we're abiding by the blocking structure. So, for example, if you've got a subject in block A, B and C, and you decide that your subject in block C you no longer want to study, you would need to select from block D or E. Unfortunately, if you've got subjects in a block, you can't then add another subject from that block. So as long as you're abiding by those restrictions, then you shouldn't have a problem with choosing the subjects. It's just making sure you've got one per block. And the final question is, what happens if I want to resit an exam in the autumn time? You can. There is the flexibility for some schools, so I think it's best that you speak to your school staff and make sure that it's your staff and your school are happy to do that. However, it will not affect your application currently. We have to carry on with the enrolment process as it is, and we will be only accepting results that I've obtained in this August and this August for September. So I'm aware that for some students they will want to resit exams, and that is something that I would definitely say you need to discuss with your schools, but it will not affect our current enrolment. Perfect. We had a few questions on the live Zoom call earlier around what the average class sizes are, and we have a maximum limit of around about 23 in our A-level subject courses and our BTEC courses. So the other thing around choosing an alternative subject is based on the fact that we have space and capacity in those subject areas. But commonly our average class size is around about 15 pupils. We also had a question around whether students are allowed off-site for lunchtime, and in a normal non-coronavirus world, sixth form students do have the privilege to leave school during lunchtime, but obviously we're going to have to amend that rule to make sure that we are safe and we're not bringing in risk from the community back into school after lunch break. So for the time being, that will be a restricted privilege, and we look to open that up as much as possible. So I just wanted to say, as we draw to a close, a massive well done on being here and giving up your time to find out more about Heathcote Sixth Form. We had over 400 applicants this year through the Admissions Plus online system, and we've made around about 200 offers. So first of all, congratulations for being in a position of holding a conditional offer, and we hope that you will be joining us after a successful results day on the 20th of August, and we can welcome as many of you as possible in real life in September. If we haven't been able to answer all your questions, or you have anything else that is more personal to you that you would like us to follow up with, then please do send us an email or get in touch with the school, and we'll be happy to phone you or email you a response to anything in particular that you might have. So that just leaves it at the end of this to say really good luck for August. We wish you all the very best, and we hope to see you in person on the 20th of August or on the 4th of September. Thank you very much and good luck.